Hello and welcome to my Let's Read series. I am going to be alternating between back issues of EGM and Nintendo Power. Not as if there are any new issues of those coming out, although I have access to these EGMs because I backed their Kickstarter, and one of the backer rewards was that they were going to make a new issue. So there will actually be a new issue of EGM, and that is exciting. But I wanted to start this because I like to fall asleep to things like Scott the Woz and Did You Know Gaming, and I was looking for something to fall asleep to of just someone just going through some old video game magazines, and there are some videos out there of that. Not as many as I would have expected though, and it was really hard to find ones covering EGMs and Nintendo Powers for whatever reason. So I thought, I have the means, why not? So let me know what you want to see, what you like, what you don't like, and I will do my best here. This is just a passion project. I, work full-time and have other projects that I do and try to play a shitload of video games, so this is going to just be done as I can. But I think I can probably pump them out fairly consistently because it's really not that much work. I just open up OBS and open up a PDF reader and go to town. So that's what we're going to be doing. And I am doing a random number generator and using that to determine the issue. And then I will go alternate to the next magazine. So today we're doing number 78 of EGM, and at the end I will roll the dice, see what issue of Nintendo Power we're gonna do, and then we'll do that next time. I'm still kind of messing around with the Nintendo Powers because the ones on the archive I found, they look like they're kind of shoddily upscaled with AI, and so they don't look the best. And I'm trying to see if there's any other options or if we're just gonna have to deal with that. But for now, these EGM scans are beautiful, and we're gonna go with that. So this is January 1996, and it looks like this is getting to be around the time that the Nintendo 64 is gonna release. At the time, they're just calling it the Ultra 64. And, they've got some previews here of Zelda 64. You might better know it as Ocarina of Time, Pilot Wing, Star Fox, Lilat Wars for you UK folks, Wave Race, Super Mario Kart R, and then, the PlayStation, of course, was popping off at this time, so we've got some PlayStation coverage along with some Sega Saturn, Neo Geo, CDI, Game Boy, Game Gear, all this stuff. So let's see what we got going on here. Okay, I need to move my mouse over. All right, there we go. All right. So we got some sports game ads. What is this? Oh, Secret of Evermore. Okay, I have actually not ever played that one. Here we go with the introductions here. And then an ad for Spawn for Super Nintendo, a game that I'm sure is great. Thank you, Acclaim, for Spawn. Blazing Dragons. I don't really remember this. Oh wait, yes, this is I think a Sega Saturn game, I want to say. The Knights, a pathological liar, Rapunzel schizophrenic, and Cheech is blazing again. Forget the sword, bring a psychiatrist. Okay, so it looks like Cheech Marin plays Sir George. Okay, it was on PlayStation as well, but I was right. It is a Sega Saturn game. Okay, yeah, I do remember this now. Alright, then they're teasing you with the Ultra 64 stuff. Some previews of what's in this issue. The Game Shark takes a big bite of tricky games. Alright, man. Game Shark was a crazy time. If you're younger and listening or watching this and don't know what the Game Shark is, basically you would plug it into your system, and then at least for like cartridge games, you would then plug the game like on top of the Game Shark, and then you would punch in these like long codes, and you would do some crazy stuff in those games. So kind of like in a PC game, how you can like open up console and set the physics all wacky, or unlock everything, something like that. That's basically what you would use the Game Shark for. My biggest memories of using a Game Shark were just using it on GoldenEye to use some crazy characters that were not in the game, or get to the secret areas and whatnot. And Pokemon to do illegal things. Blade Force, a 3DO game. I'm sure that was good. All those in favor of gun control, please skip this ad. All right. Wait. I thought this was... Oh, there's two different games here, I think. Blade Force and Killing Time. I see. Okay. Then we got some PlayStation sports games. Don't care. All right, here we go. That's what we're looking for, is Bugdom. I think that's Bugdom over here on the side. Or not, sorry, it was just called Bug. I'm getting my games mixed up. Bad news for the Nintendo 64. High cartridge prices and the M2 factor. Panasonic will not bring the M2 to market without quality software. I don't actually remember what that is. I don't know. Behind the M2. Meanwhile, M2 and Ultra 64 will name wild cards. What's the M2? It's definitely a code name for something, I think. Sorry, you'll have to look that up, I guess. Here's some NBA Jam. This is an ad. You can tell because of it says paid advertisement down there. But yeah, if you ever wanted to play NBA Jam on the Atari Jaguar, you could do that. I wouldn't, but you could. Comic Zone, Captain Quasar for the 3DO. You know, I gotta hand it to them. They're putting the ads in. They were trying. They didn't get there, but they were trying. This is a flight stick for... What does this say? I think this is a Saturdn stick. Okay. So I guess you would use this for... I don't know what you would use this for. It says that they were using it for Panzer Dragoon. I don't want to play Panzer Dragoon with that thing, but I gave it an 8.5. Did you know that CD provides a hi-fi workout for audio systems? That's pretty cool. That's great. Here is an ad for Star Trek Deep Space Nine Harbinger. That's a game. Then we got this little pocket football thing for someone. Another Macross Plus music CD. Japanimation fans can feast their ears on the recently released Macross Plus Original Soundtrack 2, which features music based on the Macross Plus film. The Japanese movie is loosely based on a popular animated TV series known as Robotech that took hold in the United States during the mid-80s. Songs on the CD run the gamut from high-energy dance tracks to moody, introspective ballads. JVC Music, which is bringing out the CD for $15.98 retail, already has released the first Macross Plus soundtrack. Also from JVC Music is the soundtrack of another popular anime film, Akira. To order any of these CDs from JVC Music, I'm not going to say that number. Don't call it. Here's Doom. You know what Doom is. It's on everything. In fact, I don't think I realized that there was a PlayStation version of Doom, but of course there is. High Velocity Mountain Racing Challenge. You know, I've been playing some Saturn stuff recently, and I think I played this. It's an Atlas racing game, so I probably did. And then we got some Space Griffin VF9. I have not played this, but it looks sick. I don't know if it's any good, but it looks sick. Some more 3DO stuff. God, 3DO was going crazy. Sex, drugs, violence, weapons, San Francisco men in tights. Oh, alright, 3DO. I see what you were doing here. What is this? Contest to Die For, Brain Dead 13, starring Fritz, and a bizarre comedy horror action adventure. Sounds familiar, but I can't quite place it. So a grand prize winner would get a Sony PlayStation Entertainment System with a copy of Brain Dead 13. Yeah, that's it. First prize was a Brain Dead 13 crew jacket. Feel like one of the animators with your own leather crew jacket. That's kind of cool. And then second prize was a t-shirt. Oh, and a cap. Okay. Cool. Some more ads here. Nothing all that interesting. What is this? $10 off. A few different options. Some coupons and things. Here's an ad for SimCity 2000 for the Saturn. It's a pretty good ad. Aha, here is Killer Instinct for the Game Boy. Just the way you want to play Killer Instinct. Flank of Fulgore, brisket of orchid, saber wolf skirt steak. I'd eat some saber wolf skirt steak. Man. I don't think I've played Killer Instinct on Game Boy, but it can't be good. Enjoy it wherever you go. Killer Instinct is now on Game Boy. No, I'm good. Alright, here we go. We've got some reviews already here. So, first up is XCOM. PlayStation version of XCOM got a 9.5, 9.5, 8.5, and 8.0. That's crazy. Revolution X. Music is the weapon for Super Nintendo. 6.5, 3.0, 6.5, 3.5. Best feature, music. Worst feature, graphics. Time to complete, medium. Also try other platforms. Okay. The review crew, we have Andrew Barron, and current favorite for him is XCOM, Twisted Metal, and Warcraft. We got Mark with a last name that I am not going to attempt. XCOM, Warhawk, and 11th Hour. Then we got Mike Desmond, Warhawk, Street Fighter Alpha, and Command and Conquer. Okay. Sushi X this month was into Street Fighter Alpha, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, and XCOM. Final Fight 3. It's a bad game. Mortal Kombat 3. Toy Story. Surprisingly, pretty decent game. I love that these reviews would have just I don't know, the way that they do them is just so different than the way we do reviews now. Like, they just had 4 different people write just a blurb, but they also, those 4 different people were also playing all of these games in a month. So I'm not surprised that they didn't write a ton about them. But I also love how the challenge is listed as adjustable, moderate. I don't really know what backup means. I'm not sure what that is supposed to mean. And like the time to complete, like they're not doing hour counts. They're saying medium, long, short. Here's gargoyles for the Genesis. Sushi, what are you on? Why did you give gargoyles for the Genesis a 7.5? Virtual Cop. All right. Yeah. The best feature of Virtual Cop is shooting hostages, but it needs more blood. Sure. I can agree with all of that. Theme Park for the Saturn. I haven't played the Saturn version, but I have played a lot of the PlayStation version, and I am a big fan of Theme Park. It is pretty simple. Granted, it's, 30 years old or whatever, but I really enjoy Theme Park. It's got like a good gameplay loop, and it's quite addicting. Best feature, of course, is puking kids. Worst feature, yeah, it is addictive. Time to complete, long, yeah. Oh, backup is, they're talking about the saves. Okay, so memory card. So I'm wondering, when it says none, does that mean that there's just no way to save it, or are they just saying that you don't need one because it's saving to the cartridge? But in Virtual Cop, I mean, I don't really know what you're saving. Here's an ad for Pacific Theater of Operations 2. I guess. Solar Eclipse for the Saturn. Your friends at Crystal Dynamics. I don't recall that game, and that screenshot is hard to make out. Andrew loved Gex. Andrew, big fan of Gex, 8.5. Sushi gave Gex an 8. Mike is, the coldest on Gex, and it's a 7. Best feature of Gex for the PlayStation from Crystal Dynamics? Humor. They're like, some of these also tries, I'm just like, you guys didn't try that hard. Like any other mascot game, yeah, I guess, like, sure, but maybe like call one out. I don't know. Here's an ad for, I don't know. Oh, Cyberdillo for the 3DO. Is there a 3DO Mr. Core yet? Because I have not spent much time exploring the 3DO, but good lord. There's some stuff going on over there, huh? This ad is wild. What's going on in this Resident Evil 7 table? That's crazy. Viewpoint. Not familiar. Captain Quasar. Andrew really likes Captain Quasar. Scramble Cobra for the 3DO. There's Scramble Cobra right there for you. An experience from the real 3DO zone. Gary Peppers, New Jersey. Sure. I said Gary, I meant Jerry. That looks okay. What did they give it? 5.0, 3.0, 4.5, 7.0. Kind of all over the place. Shockwave 2. Yeah, all right. iWar for the Jaguar. Aha, Mario Clash for the Virtual Boy. Mark, what do you say about Mario Clash? Mario Clash is a perfect example of a game that utilizes the potential of the Virtual Boy to a T. Not only is the game highly addictive, but the levels have a nice three-dimensional feel to them. The two reasons that will make this game a winner are, it's the same principle as the original Mario Bros., so most everybody will be familiar with the basics of the game, and it is simply a fun game to play. It is a nice spin-off of the original with an added twist. Okay. I haven't actually ever played a single Virtual Boy game. I mean, I guess I should at some point. I just don't really care. The best feature of Mario Clash for the Virtual Boy is the visual clarity. Sure. I guess. I guess maybe it is. Here's an ad for. Look at that FMV screenshot. Hate cheesy acting? Watch two trash talking jerks rip on the gratuitous video. What? Man, this kicks ass. I want to play this. Off-world. I think it says Interceptor Extreme. Yeah, Off-world Interceptor Extreme. It's up there too. Yeah, this looks crazy. I'm pretty into this. Killer Instinct for the Game Boy. Hey, weird. It is in fact bad. Weird. Who could have guessed? Sonic Labyrinth for the Game Gear. Not great. Tales of Adventure for the Game Gear. Better. I have played some of that game, and it's all right. It's pretty good. Here's an ad for Quarterback Attack. That is an FMV football game, and scenes from it are featured in, I believe the movie's called Game Over, where they just took a lot of scenes from FMV games and then used them with some other footage that they shot to make a movie, and it's pretty fun. I recommend that movie, if that is the movie I'm thinking of. If you just look up Quarterback Attack movie, you'll probably find it. Gaming gossip, here we go. Ameritech to enter the gaming scene. Problems at Atari. Sega versus Nintendo again. $40 Saturn games. Eclipse ready to hit Japan. PlayStation still outselling Saturn. Yeah, I don't know. How much of this do I want to read? I'm going to kind of skim it and see if anything's jumping out at me. Despite a megabucks deal that sees the M2 technology landing in the laps of Matsushita for a cool $100 million, the Q has heard firsthand that Panasonic suits aren't too pleased with some recent revelations that lit up a recent online chat. It appears that participants let slip that the M2 wouldn't debut until the fall of next year, while Panasonic's position has remained uncertain. The company sources say, sorry. It's hard to see the punctuation. The company, sources say, doesn't want to bring the machine to market prematurely and suffer the wrath of gamers and competitors alike with a limited volume of softs. Okay. I think that's short for software, aka games, to represent exactly what the system can do. The Q's heard rumors that 3DO would likely have thrown in the towel had Matsushita helping hand not come along. The company could have consolidated and continued to function in an alternative capacity, but many close to the M2 project indicate that 3DO was concerned about the cost to make a device that many see as a superior to rival Mega machines. Look for Panasonic to use its Olympic affiliations to hype the impending M2 release. I need to look into that, because I don't... Is that supposed to be a 3DO successor, or was it just like a different model of the 3DO that was like a little bit more powerful? But I think it must have had to have been like the 3DO successor that just never came to market. Oh boy. This is a fun one to read. Some stores are reporting that sales of the PlayStation are outselling the Saturn at a pace of 8-1. Although Sega has gone to some lengths to point out that all new launches enjoy a love fest, Sony plans to introduce the Sony PlayStation 2 in 1997 and the PlayStation 3 in the next century. Warhawk for the PlayStation is a real fave of the Q. If you haven't checked out this all-out battle for control of Armageddon, yours truly suggests you don't miss out. Where can I get some of that Red Mercury stuff? Man, that's crazy. This magazine is from 1996, and they just said PlayStation 3 in it. That's wild. But also, like, I don't know. Time's weird, because 1996, 10 years later, 2006, that's pretty close to the launch of the PS3. So, I guess it's really not that wild. Wipeout, hell yeah. Good game, good ad. Well, not really. It's a good game, but this ad is like, doesn't really show you what the game is. This is just some controllers for the PlayStation. Here's an ad for Kingsfield. No, thank you. I love them as a studio, but those games, oof, they are not for me. Here we go. This is going to be where they're giving you tips and codes. So we got Batman Forever for Super Nintendo, and if you need to choose a different level, you can hit left, up, left, A, B, Y, which spells lullaby. That's fun. Yeah, okay. And had for Corpse Killer, another FMV game that is featured in that Game Over movie, I believe. Yeah, they're making that game look a lot cooler than it is. Cyber Sled for PlayStation, pretty decent game. Here's how to access more sleds. Lunar Eternal Blue. Talking about getting the epilogue ending. Virtual Fighter for the 32X. Some Mega Man 7. Siberia. That, I think, okay, there's a different game called Siberia, but spelled like the country. And this is not that game. All right, more codes. We got Vector Man, Ball Dracula, and Call a Cab. Ball Dracula. Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Crossroads of Time for the Genesis. Enter Davidil, and that gets you something. Weapon Lord for the SNES. Play as Zarek in story mode. Ooh. WWF WrestleMania arcade game to get a random select. To get a random select for your wrestler. Oh, okay. They just choose the wrestler for you. I see. I think that's what they're saying. Just begin a 1 or 2 player game. Have player 1 highlight Doink, aka Doink the Clown, and have player 2 highlight Razor Ramon. Press up and start simultaneous on these characters to get a random choice of wrestlers. What? Why? Why didn't they just put a random button in there? That's so weird. Busted system. While Nintendo may suggest repairing pricing, services provided are free, or service providers are free to set their own pricing. Okay, this is actually a Nintendo ad. Okay. So they'll repair your top loader NES for $25. That Game Boy kind of looks like a Game Boy Light, which was only released in Japan, but I don't know. Back to codes. We got Warhawk, Eternal Champions, Mortal Kombat 3. Here you go. This is the ads. Destruction Derby. Love thy neighbor. Wreck his car. I don't know what that game is. Gex. Stage select. Finally, I can select my stages in Gex. Make sketch fart. If you press down on the D-pad rapidly, he'll start up. I have played a lot of Comic Zone. I did not know that you could do that. I'm gonna have to try that next time. Ultimate Power Play, EGM and EGM 2. They have not put the EGM 2 issues on the archive yet, but it says coming soon. Still more codes, damn. Off-World Interceptor Extreme, Mazer, Cyber Speedway, and ESPN Extreme Games. Agile Warrior something. Oh, it's the plain name. Looks okay. What is this one? This is gonna be, I don't know. High Octane, The Track Fights Back. Is that the full name? Or is it just... That's crazy. Alright. Feed the machine, because after all, you are what you eat. 3D Lemmings, Destruction Derby, Nova Storm, Discworld, Wipeout. You know, I'm surprised that I don't recall seeing more publishers doing this where they just put multiple games on one ad, but that's pretty smart. You know, get little blurb in there and a couple screenshots. Nintendo's Lincoln speaks out on the Ultra 64. It's Howard Lincoln. I believe Howard Lincoln has passed now. I'm pretty sure he has. So this is just an interview about the Nintendo 64. Nintendo's waiting until April 21st to bring out the system in Japan to allow for more time to finish the launch games. I mean, what launch games? I don't know about Japan, but in the US it was just Super Mario 64 and Pilot Wings, right? Yeah, Pilot Wings. I think maybe in Japan it only launched with Mario, but can't remember. I'd have to look it up. But this caught my eye. Why wasn't the Ultra name used in Japan? I think there were some trademark issues. Then EGM asks, there have been rumors that the Nintendo 64 wasn't launched in Japan this month because of the release of Dragon Quest VI. Lincoln says, I don't think it had any direct relationship, but it is a very strong title for the Japanese market. Mr. Yamauchi was being very candid when he said he was waiting until April 21st because his people need a little bit more time to finish the launch games to a level that they are satisfied with. Mr. Miyamoto also has a huge influence on launch dates in the sense that he wants to put more into Super Mario 64. We don't want to rush introductions because the retailers, media, or financial analysts say that we should. Yamauchi's answer is that we don't have to do anything other than protect our shareholders. I don't know if Dragon Quest VI had an effect on that, but I would not be surprised. Especially like around that time, that was like the biggest thing in the world in Japan, and you were getting clear out of the way. That's like, you know, if they were going to put out a new system the same week or window as, you know, Grand Theft Auto 6, like you're just not going to do that. Let's see, anything else grabbing me here? Oh, they were in Japan for this. Okay. Yeah, they found a vending machine with beer in it. What is that? Next to that, I can't tell what that, when he's saying you gotta be kidding, I can't fit in here, is. I'm guessing a bathroom. The first dinner is a safe Korean barbecue. That feels like they're saying that they can't eat the food. I mean, Japanese food isn't that, like, I'm a picky eater and I'll eat Japanese food. Like, I'll eat the vast majority of it. Just seeing if there's anything else here that I want to point out. What is the purpose of the cartridge? What? There might be a typo here. I think that's supposed to be, what is the purpose of the cartridge port on the controller? The idea is that you can customize some of your games. You can store the way you set up your baseball team and take the controller to somebody else's house and play the game your way. King Griffey Baseball is being developed now and will take full advantage of that feature. I hadn't really thought about that. That is actually, that was pretty smart, because back in the day, if you're going over to a friend's house to play video games, there's a good chance that they only have one controller, and so you'd bring your own controller. And having the memory card slot just be part of the controller, you know, much like Dreamcast did, that is pretty smart. Because it just makes it easier to just bring it over. So at the time when they were publishing this, the 64 had been released in Japan. Got some specs here. Got that 32-bit RGBA pixel color frame buffer support. Look, they found the subway. There's some different controller colors, showing off like the Z button on the bottom and the memory card slot. I like these little Japan pictures though. I wish there was some more of that. Help, how do I get back to the hotel? Seaweed and squid on pizza? Where's McDonald's? Ugh. Cars don't have a chance here. Give me food. I don't know that I would want nori on... Yeah, I said nori. I'm a weeb. On pizza, but I'd eat some squid on pizza. Taking a look at Super Mario 64. The 3D Super Mario 64 takes the Nintendo 64 by storm. Yeah, that game's still great. Some more Japan pictures down here. We fly to Osaka to visit Capcom. Getting brave and trying Japanese food. What are you talking about, brave? I wish I could see what they're eating, because they're probably just eating like curry or something. You don't find this on Main Street in America. Condomania. I guess the idea is that is a store just of condoms. I don't know what's going on there. Some more Mario 64. Oh, Kirby Ball 64, tentative title, also known as Kirby Bowl 64. Yeah, that is something that did not come out. That really kind of just seems like it was mostly a, what do you call it? Like a tech display. I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but yeah, that did not come out. I don't remember ever seeing that though. That is pretty neat. I would like to look up footage of that if that exists. Some more Japan pictures. Oops, no doors on these bathrooms. Checking out the nightlife in Tokyo. Long lines for players wanting Virtua Cop. Hell yeah. Pilot Wing 64. The classic launch for the Super NES returns to put the power of the Ultra 64 to the test. Wow, I didn't realize they were talking about GoldenEye that early. I guess that makes sense. That's pretty neat. More Japan pics. I know my hotel is around here somewhere. Turkey dinner in Japan. Deep fried quail eggs. Man. I hope they're just playing this up. I hope they like actually, you know, ate some Japanese food more than one time. Star Fox 64, a favorite. Zelda 64, some real rough early screenshots there. It's pretty cool to see that though. That's pretty neat. More Japan pics. Ran out of cash on day 3. Yeah, I know the feeling. This trip sure works up a thirst. Time to check out the newest coin op. Oh, I wish I could see what that is. I cannot tell what it is. Let me know if you can. Blastozer. I believe that was Blast Core. Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. Pretty neat. Some more Japan pics. Now look, Ed. No pictures. Got it? Signs? What signs? Oh well, perhaps they won't mind if I take just a few. Wave Race 64. Body Harvest. Damn, they okay, I thought they were just gonna like, I didn't realize they were gonna go this deep into the 64 stuff. That's pretty cool. Now look here, you've been warned, no photos. Perhaps just a few more. Mr. Miyamoto takes time to demonstrate the Ultra 64 controller for EGM. Man, look at babyface Miyamoto. What is Buggy Boogie? That is either something that did not come out or came out with a different name. I'm not sure which. I think maybe it didn't come out because whatever the hell Creator is did not come out. What is that? Creator utilizes the Ultra 64's rotation and zoom capabilities, supplying the player with an impressive display of visuals that surround the game, which is based on some type of creation. At this early stage, your guess is as good as ours as to what the exact premise of this game is to be. The title caught our attention, so you can bet more information will be on the way to players and a few interested editors. I bet it wasn't, because I think that was probably just another one of those words that I'm having such a hard time remembering for some reason. Tech display, tech experiment. I cannot think of what that term is. Some more Japan picks. Someone must have said that Sony is going to be competition next year. Let's see that they're laughing there. Yeah, keep laughing, guys. Don't hit me. I really like Edge. What? Are they talking about Edge magazine? Was that out at the time? How did you get one of the Ultra 64 controllers? Super Mario Kart R. I think that game is aged kind of poorly, which people get mad at me for saying sometimes, but you know, whatever. More Japan picks. Photos are all taken, so it's time to play. Kids line up for the second day of the show. I'm thinking that this is from Space World. The 13-hour flight. Time to go to work. Look at that laptop. I've gone to Japan and yeah, it is somewhere in the neighborhood of 13 to 15 hours depending, and it's a long ass flight. There's a soccer game. Cheating comes to 32-bit systems. Oh, it's the Game Shark. This is just more Game Shark stuff. It's pretty cool. Like, you just don't really... Like, if Game Shark came out today, I mean, there's just too much, like, in-game transaction kind of stuff where they would get sued so fast, but I don't know. It's pretty neat. Cutthroat Island. I know the name, but I don't think I've played it. Capcom's new Street Fighter. Were they talking about Third Strike? Some people were asked to leave Capcom. Okay. There's some people and some ladies. I don't know what's going on here. The U.S. R&D group will start delivering some product into the U.S. coin-op market. Oh, are they talking about Street Fighter the movie, the game? Is that what they're talking about here? Here's Primal Rage for PlayStation. And some other games that aren't Primal Rage. Oh my god. Yeah. This Revolution X port is not good. So this is just an ad where you can call and order video games. Just kind of looking at some of these prices. $150 for a Jaguar CD. Let me see if I can see what the most expensive game is, though. I'm not going to count Neo Geo. Let's see, on SNES, we got $72 for Chrono Trigger, $72 for Dragon Warrior 5. I mean, that must have been an import, right? I don't... Yeah. Trying to see if I see any more $70 ones there. Saturn. These are all around $50, $60. Honestly, I mean, I don't think a video game should cost $80, but looking at some of this and like thinking about, you know, how much it costs to make video games, you know, we're kind of lucky that it's only $80, I think. This is to sign up to get EGM. This is you fill this out and you can win quarterback attack if you really want to. I would love a digital pictures hat. That sounds cool. That's what I want. Grand prize, 2 tickets to any regular season football game of your choice, college or pro. Okay. Here's Spider-Man for the 32X. The game's all right. This is something else that I think is kind of crazy to see in these issues is when they're talking about 75% done. What is that based off of? Where did they get that number? I mean, this is like one of 5 32X games. Virtual Cop for the Saturn is 100% done because it's out now. Yeah, good game. I like Virtual Cop. What is this game? Creature Shock, I guess. Okay, yeah, Creature Shock. 60% done. I wonder if they're just like asking someone at the publisher, like, and they're just giving them some arbitrary number. Mortal Kombat 2, 50% done. Conformity Bites, BYTES. Yeah, don't conform, play Revolution X, music is the weapon. What a game. That's a cool ad. Okay. Revolution X for PlayStation is 70% done. Not many players play for points anymore, but Revolution X has plenty of secrets for you to find. When you first land at the entrance to the club, you'll see a cat on a wall. Hit it with around 8 CDs to knock it down. Peg it with one more and an alien will appear. Shoot the alien and he'll split into a small army of critters. Shoot each one for a major load of bonus points. What other secret point tricks can you find? XCOM. It's out now. I've never played an XCOM game. I need to, but I've never played one. DEFCON 5. Warriors of Fate. I'm trying to remember if I've played Warriors of Fate. I probably have at some point. It looks familiar, but I mean, it's a Capcom side-scrolling beat-em-up, so of course it looks familiar. Here's Rayman. Rayman kicks ass. Okay, yeah. Now that I'm getting more of a look at Warriors of Fate, I do believe I have played this. I don't know what's going on here. Tekken's pretty cool. Shockwave 2, Alien, Cyborg, and Heavy Weaponry. Thanks to the doctor's skill in patching you up after a mission in which you fared poorly, infinite continues are available. Thanks, Doc. I would like to play this game. It looks bad. Bust a Move. Finally, a 3DO game that doesn't look like shit. Yeah. Pretty good. I also love when you can just see the scan lines almost in like these screenshots, because back in the day you couldn't just, you know, get a screenshot from a computer. You were taking like cameras and, you know, getting the settings just right and setting everything up and getting like your screenshot was taking a picture of a CRT. And I don't know, I think it's kind of cool. Yeah, Maximum Surge, a game I've never played but see all the time for some reason. Internet Underground, your guide to cyberspace. Hell yeah. The web guide, free with every copy, listing hundreds of reviewed websites organized into 12 easy categories. Oh, Internet Underground is a magazine, not just a book. Okay. I would love to know about websites. Don't join the revolution. Don't get the internet. Just don't do it. It's a mistake. What? What better pay? Sam Rush? I don't know what that is. Some Penguin Jaguar game. I don't know what the hell I'm looking at. It looks interesting. Missile Command. Brand new Missile Command for the Atari Jaguar. Playmates Interactive Entertainment presents Mutant Chronicles Doom Troopers Contest. Okay. Baldies. Call the hair club. We got Baldies. Baldies is 70% done. I need to explore the 3DO and the Jaguar. They were doing some stuff over there. An ad for Zero Divide. It's a fighting game that obviously did not take off. Here's some more Baldies. Excuse me, breeding Baldies. To increase the number of your masses, keep a large amount of working Baldies in each of your structures. They will continue to reproduce and release the new creations in your front yard so you can... This is like if Pikmin was little fat bald dudes. I hope this game's good because it looks kind of cool. I kind of want to play this. The enemies can't find your troops hidden in the trees and therefore are safe from them. Once you release them, however, the enemy is in store for one heck of a bad time caused by flying bullets and lobbed grenades. Some more Doom Troopers. iWar. Go virus hunting. It says that it is the Jaguar alternative to PlayStation's assault rigs. I guess it is. If you need a Babylon 5 magazine, here you go. What's going on in the Babylon 5 magazine? FX secrets revealed. Explorer TV's Interstellar Space Saga. Complete episode guide, caster review. Yeah, all right. Well, send $7 to Lombard, Illinois, and you can get yourself a Babylon 5 mag. Killer Instinct. No thanks. Remember that time you got your butt kicked? Remember the times you kicked butt? Here's a memory card. Game Gear Tales Adventure. Geome Cube. This is I thought they were doing something here. What? Oh, it was the 11th hour for PC. No, thank you. Lemmings. This just looks like cover for like a Offspring album. Wing Commander 3. Yeah, I like looking at that. I'm a pretty big fan of looking at Wing Commander. Here we go. Beavis and Butthead in Virtual Stupidity for the PC. A very good screenshot of Butthead just kicking Beavis square in the balls. Hilarious sequences show off Beavis and Butthead's humor and take you to famous locations from the TV series. Yeah, I need to read this. You've seen the show, you've watched the videos. Now prepare yourself for the ultimate in computer entertainment, virtual stupidity. Spend the day with your favorite fart knockers doing what they do best, causing trouble. Your adventure begins in the worst possible place, school. Your first objective is to figure out a way to get out of class without getting busted. Then head down the hallways looking for the ultimate escape route. Be careful though, because on your way you are destined to run into some serious dumbasses such as Mr. Vicker and everybody's favorite, Mr. Buzzcut. If you're crafty enough to make it to freedom, Beavis and Butthead, known for being crafty. You can then choose to explore the different areas in your town, all the while keeping in mind your ultimate goal, figuring out a way to be cool enough so Todd will let you join his gang. The game plays very much like a Sierra adventure game, with all the controls you need to use, such as look, use, walk, talk, and even your inventory located conveniently in an easy-to-use interface that can be pulled up with a quick right click of the mouse button. Besides figuring out which items you need to pick up to progress through the game, there is humor to be found everywhere by just looking at or touching cool stuff. Some of the areas that you can wreak havoc with in the game include the park, mini-mart, burger world, and of course your house, just in case you feel like watching some videos that don't suck. One of the bonuses of Virtual Stupidity are the special mini games that your feared leaders can participate in after playing all the games and collecting all the necessary items, and maybe if you're cool enough, you will be worthy to join Todd's gang. Todd's cool. Fox Hunt. Okay. Yes, Fox Hunt. Wow, I don't know this one, and I would like to. Rebel Assault 2. What? Okay, I legit thought that they were just like talking about Beverly Hills Ninja for a second. This is crazy. What is going on here? Capcom pushes FMV game technology up to motion picture level. I need to look up Fox Hunt. This looks amazing. Oh, here's an ad for Beavis and Butthead and Virtual Stupidity. They had to take the band names off the shirts. That sucks. I always hate when they have to do that. I wonder if Mike Judge like wishes he had just given them different shirts. Cool mini games and music videos including Guar, Sausage, and Primus. I wonder what Primus song is in there. And then there's Gex at EB. You know, You trade in 5 games and you're getting Gex half price. Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh. Oh, okay. I thought this was the end, but no, it's just a very plain Toy Story ad. Okay. Beyond the Beyond. A pretty good game, from what I hear. I haven't played it, but I'm familiar with it. Exector. Oh, it's an Arc Systems work game for PlayStation, so it's probably pretty good. Art Dink with Aquanauts Adventure. That looks cool. I do want to play that. The Horde, a Crystal Dynamics is pumping them out. 35 minutes. I'm sorry. 35 minutes of video explains how Piss Boy Chauncey saves the king and is rewarded with the old man's grim thwacker. It's a sword. Oh, Piss Boy. Galaxian 3. Samurai Showdown. Street Fighter 0. I think that's like an alpha game, I think. What? International Protos? What is this? I don't know this one. And then we got Secret of Mana 3. Wait, no. No, okay. Okay, I see. This section is called International Protos. And that game is Secret of Mana 3. And then down here is Horned Owl, which is a light gun game that kicks ass. Big fan of Project Horned Owl. The ad for In the Hunt from the people that made the Metal Slug games. Pretty good. Next wave, Hermie Hopperhead. Okay. That looks alright. That looks fun. Bounty Hunter for the 3DO. Yeah, God, I've got to get... I really hope that there's a 3DO core for the Mister. I don't think there is, but maybe there is. I don't know. Iron Soldier 2 for the Jaguar. Sure. Carnage. Wow. What is going on there? Sounds like not a lot is known about that one at the time. Street Fighter Alpha. Resident Evil. Only 25% done at the time. Resident Evil looks like it'll be one of the most unique and terrifying games to hit a video game system. Yeah? It's interesting to see, you know, such an established franchise having their first game in this, like, international kind of previews section. Defender 2000. Alien Virus. All right. What is going on with this 3DO game? Johnny Bazooka Tone. All right. Zone Raiders. Earthworm Jim. Okay. Yeah, Earthworm Jim had already come out other places. That was just the PC port. Sports. Sorry if you're a sports fan. I'm just not. So I'm not gonna spend too much time on those. That's what's going on here. I guess that's supposed to be like, oh, you put your own face and legs on a boxer. Some sort of Sega Saturn boxing game. I'm guessing it must have had like a creative character. Must have been like its big thing. Oh, yeah. We were looking at this earlier. Yeah, this game is sick. I have played this now that I'm seeing more of it. Hell yeah, Mark Davis. Hell yeah. Damn. Natsume said, yo, Mark. Hop on the SNES. Join Mark Davis for a fishing experience you'll never forget as his digitized voice utters words of excitement or despair. Whether you are an amateur or a longtime fishing master, you will love the thrill of catching the prize bass. Hell yeah, I will, Mark. Impact Racing. No. Sports. Alright. Now, sports entertainment I can get into. Yeah. It's a pretty decent game. I like looking at that. What? Oh, it's a golf game, I guess. Some sports scores. Yeah. Nuke.com, aka videogames.com, aka GameSpot, aka Giant Bomb. I feel like Nuke.com has worn a lot of hats. It's weird that they put the letters in the back. Sorry, Matthew, your letter's too long. What will happen in the 16-bit market? All right, I will read this one. I'm 24 years old and have been reading your magazine for a long time and have seen it change over the years, and I have seen the gaming market change as well. For the next generation machines, now the next generation machines are out/coming out, and people scurry for these high-tech babies. I have a Super Nintendo and still support it, with hot games like Final Fantasy III, Chrono Trigger, Killer Instinct, Donkey Kong Country 2, and even Super Mario World 2, aka Yoshi's Island. All great games. Why worry about a next-generation machine when there's obviously life in the 16-bit machines? Nintendo knows this, which is why they are pushing its machine to its limit. I think more companies are worried about pushing their machines instead of pumping a new machine every time it gets outdated. Sound like computers? That's why Sega bothers me. They had the Genesis, which was a smart move, seeing as the Master System was dead. Then Sega CD came out after the Super Nintendo made its ground, which was okay. Now the Super Nintendo is still going strong, and what do? Create a Saturn. I mean, okay, but the 64 was also coming out. Now I can see it was to get the upper hand, make a new powerful system when it can't keep up with the others. The Super Nintendo is still going strong, so they bring out the 32X. Now that was stupid. Yeah, it was. I mean, with Saturn coming out, what's the point of getting a 32X? There isn't. It seems that Sega has all these systems. Master System, Genesis, Saturn, Sega CD, 32X, Mercury, Venus. Where does it end? Nintendo has 3. NES, Super Nintendo, and the upcoming Ultra 64. I didn't include BG or VB. I'm guessing Game Boy and Virtual Boy? Why did they say BG? These 3 machines were all great. While there were 2 or 3 versions of the Genesis, I believe the N64 will do very well and still have a good following of titles. Saturn seems to have one foot in the grave already, and if Sega doesn't smarten up, it may die before its time. It'll join the Lynx and Jaguar over here. There aren't many titles, and at $500+ with only a handful of games, most of which are cheesy, why bother? Sega shouldn't have done the extra release. They should have done what Nintendo did, hold out for the games. PlayStation 360 is a much better deal. Better prices with more and better titles to choose from. I will get the Nintendo 64 if the games will be like Killer Instinct, which was an amazing game, and Cruisin' USA, a really awesome car game. I know it'll do well now they have George Lucas of LucasArts interested in doing a special title just for it, and then managed to get Sierra's interest, which has been difficult to do. In the end, I think Nintendo's Ultra 64, PlayStation, and 3DO will stand over it all in that order. Well, not quite, bud, but thank you, Sean Anderson, via the internet. Let's see. Okay, yeah, these are some good questions. I just had a cast removed from my leg the other day. Football accident. Anyways, my leg was all shriveled up and there was the stinky brownish slime. What was it, and is it recyclable? That strange glop is actually a special kind of radioactive cheese. Sources say some third world nations are collecting it for a top secret super weapon. You might be able to get a few dollars there. Okay. This is Finn. I'm at the drop. I've got the rifle set up and about 10 pounds of plastic set around the base of the tower. What's next? Pop the caps as soon as you see signs of activity and blow the site sky high. The evil corporation must go down. Okay. All right, Shark Lover. Dear EGM, I was thinking about your very own Daniel Carpenter. I love his solid figure from his review crew icon. I dream about him every night. Is there a way I can go out with him? He's my dream date. Daniel is not really seeing anyone right now. With all of the editors finding love this season, it only seems natural that our favorite editor needs to find someone too. You are not his type, Jason, but we'll pass the word on to him. Sorry, Jason. Got some Chrono Trigger down here, some more letters that I'm not going to read all of them. EGM's top 10. So the EGM editor's top 10 for this month was Street Fighter Alpha, Warhawk, Twisted Metal, Captain Quasar, Pitfall, Sega Rally, Donkey Kong Country 2, Toy Story, Mortal Kombat 3, and Virtua Cop. The EGM reader's top 10 was Warhawk, Twisted Metal, Mortal Kombat 3, a different Mortal Kombat 3 port, Pitfall, Yoshi's Island, SimCity 2000, Astal, Killing Time, and Chrono Trigger. Pretty solid. Here's an ad for some card game, some Marvel card game. Psycho letter of the month. I am Shao Kahn. I would just like you to know. Oh, wait, they wrote it over here for us. I would just like you to know that all that junk about me being evil is as stupid as the characters in the game. In my spare time, I like taking long walks in the park and reading trashy romance novels. I also like playing fetch with my dog, Fido, and going to the Lions Club. I'm strictly a vegetarian and have seen every Disney movie made, including Cinderella. I hope one day to become a famous dancer on Broadway. I'm actually pretty good, you know. I thank you for your time, Shao Kahn. Printed in 100% blood. We've seen Shao Kahn cry at the end of Bambi. It's not a pretty sight. Okay. I guess they were like, would they give people a letter for psychotic male? That seems like a bad idea. Another ad. I also love seeing all of this old Dragon Ball art from like episodes that super were not out here yet. Yeah, that's pretty cool. The letter art is great. We got Bug on that one. Chrono Trigger, some Mortal Kombat. The director of promotions and public relations at Trade West. Oh, Williams. Okay. R.I.P. Terry. Ultimate gaming rig. you know, the ultimate gaming rig where you have a 3DO and a PlayStation. I meant 3DO and a Jaguar. Oh, and you get a satellite dish too. Dang, this is pretty good. You gotta pay money to enter this and do a puzzle. If I like had more time to dedicate to YouTube videos, I would love to do a series of just like seeking out people that won these contests and just like interviewing them. Import products here. They got the Street Fighter movie. They got all these bad anime. Oh, wait. Okay, they've got some good anime too. They got Ranma, AD Police. What is that? Dragon Knight is not good. Cutie Honey. Alright, we're getting to the end here. They got the 3DO on special. There's Wario Land for the Virtual Boy. It's just some place in New York that you can order games from. Okay, this Cinescape magazine looks sick. Everybody's so stoked for Alien Resurrection. It's definitely not gonna suck shit. American and Japanese games here. Get that Yu Yu Hakusho Mega Drive game. Don't do that. Don't buy that. Now, Art of Fighting 2 for $60. That's not bad. Oh, I didn't. Okay, so Game Shark had like a 900 number you could call to just piss your parents off because you needed codes, Game Shark codes for bug. That's pretty cool. Hell yeah, Fox Hunt. Yeah. All right, looks like that's it. So we're gonna go ahead and see what the issue of Nintendo Power will be next time. And it is issue 137, which is October of 2000. Give you a quick look at that. Oh yeah. Yeah, we got Majora's Mask, Gold and Silver. Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. All right, well, thanks for checking this out. If you have any feedback, please leave a comment, and I will see you guys next time. If you were watching this while trying to fall asleep, pleasant dreams.